A night of sorrow in Southern California. Friends and family mourning the loss of 13-year-old Rosalie Avila. The teen took her own life after being relentlessly bullied at school.
Good evening. In the month of October, 4 teens in our area took their own lives. 4 young men from 4 different counties decided they couldn't go on.
Tonight, a community is mourning the suicide of a 13-year-old who took his life at school.
New tonight, we are learning more about the days and the hours leading up to McKenna Brown's death. The 16-year-old had a bright future in hockey ahead of her, but she took her own life just days before the start of her senior year at Eastlake High School. Her parents say severe bullying and harassment online led her down that tragic path.
My name is Andrea Paso, and I lost my child to suicide due to mental illness. Starting off when Keaton was little, he was a fun, cute little kid, and it's so funny because a lot of his friends now talk about in kindergarten, he was the only boy that all the girls wanted stuff to do with. Because he was so cute. He was about this tall and he had cute little dimples. And everything, he was just outgoing and everything until probably 8th grade. And I knew something was up because they had 8th grade student of the year, where they send the stuff home and you sign up for it. And one of the teachers called me and said, why didn't Keaton fill out his 8th grade of the year form? And I said, I don't know anything about it. And so I asked him and he said, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in the spotlight. I don't want to be involved in any of that, which was so not like him, because from a young age up until 8th grade, he was all about, he was just happy-go-lucky, involved in everything. And I really did not even start seeing probably anything really abnormal until like his junior year, when he would go up on stage and receive awards at the end of the year, and he would go like this. And he wouldn't look you straight in the face. Our senior awards day, I believe it was, is when he got up there, and my dad was the assistant principal at the time, and he wanted to present the award. He got Mr. Winfield Senior High School. And my dad's up there beaming, crying, and Keaton comes up and grabs the award and is like this. And I thought, wow, how weird. What a great accomplishment, and you're not excited about it. But he didn't like being in the spotlight. And I look back now at the pictures and I'm thinking, was that a lost soul then that I did not see? So, he graduated that summer. Didn't make him work. I think he just goofed off the whole summer. He took up skateboarding, loved skateboarding. His whole life was about skateboarding. We bought, I can't tell you how many boards we have, magazines, he watched videos. And then he started at Northwestern in the fall. And that's where I kind of started seeing a decline. Now, let me go back a little bit, because the December before he went to college, we went on a cruise. And it was me and my husband and our kids. And one night in the cruise, he literally comes to the door, banging on the door like at 2 or 3 in the morning. And I look at the people and it was him, and I walk outside and I said, what's wrong? He said, Mama, I'm in a dark spot. I'm in a dark place. And I said, what do you mean? He said, I feel like there's this dark hole around me. I said, okay. He is crying profusely. So I go outside. We sit literally in the hallway of the ship for hours talking. And he goes, I just need help. I don't know what it is. I keep seeing this dark, dark hole. He said, I just need to talk to somebody. He graduated, went to Northwestern, and I did. I found him a counselor over there to start seeing. He was a therapist. And I told her what happened. And so he saw her, and I thought it was helping. I really did, until grades came along that December, and he didn't pass. And of course I was upset, and he had been telling us, I'm going to class, I have A's, I have whatever. He would never give me his login to his Northwestern grades. I knew at the time, that's just his business. He's an adult now. But he just didn't want me to see his grades because he wasn't passing. He said, I want to move to Baton Rouge, or Zachary. That's where my sister lives. So we thought maybe it'd be good for him to, you know, leave, change the scenery, get a job. He loved it at first until he wasn't showing up for work. He was all the time driving to Baton Rouge to the skate parks, which is fine, but wasn't going to work. I was like, why, Keaton? I said, you know, you're away from people. It's a new start. And he said, I just think I need some help. I'm depressed. I'm just not myself. I don't feel like myself. So we ended up, I found a place for him to go, Brentwood. And honestly, that was other than losing him, that was the hardest day of my life, was taking him to Brentwood, because I was like, oh, okay, so what is this going to mean? Like, is this going to be something that, I think I was scared to find out what I didn't know. You know, they say, we're not going to let him call unless he wants to call you. Every day he called me. I think his stay was 3 weeks, and then they discharge you. So I made the request on discharge. I want him to see his therapist again, and I want him to see a psychiatrist. So we found him a psychiatrist in Natchitoches, and he was still seeing his therapist there. He called and he said, I just saw the psychiatrist. She put me on some new medicine. I said, okay. And when my sister's a pharmacist, so she was like, what kind of medicine is it? And he said, Lamictal. It's an old medicine they use. She gave it to him because he had told her that he thought he was bipolar. He was hearing voices. Well, of course, I didn't know that at the time. So we left for Mexico on that Tuesday after my daughter graduated. And I remember waking him up that morning and saying, I'm leaving. And you're already leaving? I said, yeah, because I was going to Baton Rouge, my daughter and I, to meet my sister, and we were flying out from there to Mexico. And that was the last hug I gave him. Okay, so we were in Mexico, and it was we went on a Tuesday. It was Friday morning, and I had gone to Mexico for surgery, and of course I'm laid up in the bed, and my daughter and sister are outside the room, and I heard my daughter crying. But if you know my daughter, she's so goofy sometimes. She has like this funny kind of giggly laugh, and she bounces all over the place. Well, I thought they're out there laughing about something, and she had this like funny laugh. And then all of a sudden, like, something came over me like, that's not a laugh. So my sister comes in the room and she's like, how are you doing? I said, good. And she said, where's your phone? I said, it's over there charging on the table. She goes, okay. She grabs my phone and walks back out. I'm thinking, okay, what's she doing? Well, I lay back down in the bed. And a few minutes later, she comes in and she goes, I need to talk to you about something. And she is crying. Well, anybody that knows me, my little weenie dog is Radar, and he is my baby. And I'm so worried if I go somewhere that something's going to happen to my weenie dog. And she's like, I tell you something. I said, did Radar die? That's the first thing I could think, because everybody in my family knows if my dog dies, it's going to be the death of me, literally. And she goes, no, it's Keaton. And I said, did he get in an accident? And the only thing she could tell me is, Matt Miller is going to take care of him. But when she said Matt Miller, I knew he was one of the coroners, and I knew he worked at the funeral home. And I said, what? And she said, there's been an accident. And I said, what happened? And she said, Keaton shot himself. I don't know if it was because I was on so much medicine from my surgery, or if my body just went into shock. I didn't say anything. I couldn't talk. I really couldn't move. I didn't even know what to say. But at that point, my life literally stood still. After he passed, whenever I finally got back to the States, of course, I had a million questions, and my family wasn't really answering my questions over the phone. First of all, I was in shock. And I truly, honestly believe that when Keaton was hallucinating, hearing things, I think that was that other person in his mind. And to this day, I believe that Keaton didn't want to leave this world. I think that other person talked him into leaving this world. The main thing I want parents to realize, and I think that's the main reason I started the Hope for Win, and I've gotten to where I don't have a problem talking to people, is Be aware of your children's surroundings, who they're with, their attitude. Like I said, if they're withdrawn from the family. And I know we all think that social media, whether it's Facebook, email, text, whatever, is private, but you can learn so much from your child just from their social media. If you see your child post something like, oh, I've had a sad day, ask them, why did you have a bad day? The connection between parents and children is not there like it used to be. And parents need to get involved with their kids, know what's going on, know their feelings. Ask them, hey, how'd your day go? How did your day go at school? You know, you look sad. Why are you feeling sad? You've got to ask those things. If you don't, you will never know what's going on with your kid, and you've got to make your kid understand that you will be there for them. I was very fortunate that Keaton came to me and was like, Mom, I need help, because there are so many out there that don't go to their parents and they have no clue, and then they lose their child and they're blindsided. The main thing I want parents to realize is be aware of everything your child does. They say, their attitude, even the way they walk. If they look like they're sad, ask them every day how their day is. And when you're around them, put down the phone. Put down the phone. Let's talk. That's the only way you're going to know what's going on with your child. If I could change anything in this whole situation is, I would have asked more questions. I think about this every day. What could I have done different? I would have asked more questions. Maybe I would have known that he was hallucinating at the last minute. I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to tell me. I don't know. And that's what's hard for me, is the question mark still in my head. But there are several things I wish I would have done different, and I don't want anybody else to be in the situation I'm in or my family's in and lose your child or your loved one. And my name is Andrea Passo, and that's my story.